Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back once again to the King of Tides, the Hero Club live stream Twitch game that we hold weekly every Tuesday night right here on twitch.tv/hero_club from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. baby. Oh yeah! Thank you for tuning in once again. Unfortunately, Jackie is not with us tonight, but we do have our boy Gabe back. Say hello, Gabe.
Hi, gang. I missed you.
We are so psyched about tonight, but just to start off everything, let's lay out a couple of base reality things that we have here in case we have anybody new in the chat tonight. I think I did see that we do. So let's get some basic things down. If you listen to Hero Club, our podcast consists of us taking our recorded D&D sessions and editing them down to these fast-paced, immersive audio dramas. And we have a season called Here There Be Monsters that is focused in the Emporia universe, a universe of our own creation that we are playing in for this campaign. So some basic things. Everybody is playing anthropomorphic animal characters. We'll hear what everybody is playing and all about their characters in a second. The era and sort of time period technology level is mid-18th century. So 1700s, 1750s, thinking like peak pirate era, sort of tropical sort of continent of the continent of Emporia. That is the universe, but it's really a continent that we're playing around. And some things about the cultural elements of things. Magic is 100% illegal, punishable by death or worse. And oh, the music stopped and my brain unplugs.
That's it, and that's all we have to say.
I found it refreshing.
And that's it. Let's all start the game. Yes. And other thing to note is that there is only one religion that is permitted to be followed throughout the land, the Church of Sol, S-O-L. And the War Priests of Sol were the ones who carried out an Inquisition-like event a few decades previous that has left magic in this world very scarce. So without further ado, let's meet our PCs. Let's go to Dylan Mccollum first.
Hi, I'm Dylan Mccollum. I play fan favorite Nesbit Bisbee. He is an anteater swarmkeeper ranger and with a 1 level of Great Old One Warlock just for fun. And since Jackie's not here, it's because some crazy stuff happened that Jackie just doesn't understand. She has no idea what happened.
She doesn't care.
What a little idiot. I mean, it's truly. Also, I always get to have the disclaimer because it's always thrust on me. Because animals are people, bugs are animals. So if you don't like bugs, oh boy, it's going to be a bad time for you. And big part of it is because of me, and because I have a whole colony of ants living in my fur, and I'm so very, very sorry about all the sound effects that George made because of me.
But, like, you can picture whatever. Use your imagination.
Hannah Fagerbaki.
Hello, I'm the name that George just said. I play Kano, a 7-foot-tall Canadian goose. She's a paladin and also has a bit of warlock. And I'm running out of new things to say about her. So she's a Canadian goose.
Great. Natasha Mercado.
Hi, I play Zaza Checkle. She's a barbarian hyena. She wears leather. You know, she used to work for the circus. Very mysterious. That's me.
Perfect. Gabe Greenspan.
Hi, I'm Gabe Greenspan. I play Zygo Coiltail, the chameleon Gudru, little bit of Circle of Stars Druid, little bit of Great Old One Warlock, all attitude.
And then we obviously have a guest with us. Mr. Marty Abbey Schneider is playing a character for this little arc we've got in the swamp. Marty, tell us about Byron.
Hi, my name is Marty Abbey Schneider. I'm the guest. I'm playing Byron. I'm playing Byron Sharpscale. He is a horned lizard blood hunter. With the, I forget if it's a school or a path or whatever, but he's a mutagen craft, mutant blood hunter.
Beautiful.
Like Way of the Mutant or whatever.
From the CR expansions, I believe.
Yeah.
Great.
Never been a blood hunter before, and it is as fun as it is complicated.
Good thing you're drinking. Yeah.
And it's as fun as it is.
Great timing for the sip. It's pretty complicated.
I'd be drinking no matter what I was playing.
Okay.
This is so much fun, you guys. Sorry.
We do this for Marty.
Okay. let's kick in because we've got quite the little situation on our hands. So let's recap, shall we?
To answer F. My Lewis, nothing nefarious has happened to Joey that we know of, right?
She's just poofed away.
I mean,
she just got poofed.
We're about to
Let's go over that.
Recap.
Let's talk about that actually. Yeah. So what has happened, and it's no secret, Gabe was checked into the stream, so he saw what happened last night. So no worries, he's allowed to know everything.
Huzzah.
I did my homework last week.
Last night. The stream last night.
So last week, as the caravan was nearing Key East, one of the easternmost cities on Emporia's eastern coast, sort of got like a very vacation-y, Martha's Vineyard-y sort of vibe to it. Lots of rich retiring families, lots of resorts and spas, and ooh la la.
Eat it up. Eat it up.
But a little bit selective in who it allows through the big walls that sort of surround the land portion, and the docks are very well patrolled and well kept. It's kind of elitist. But before we reach the walls, noticing there's not much traffic on the road, a small blue fly twirls around and sends our party off on a little bit of a wild goose chase as 2 party members are taken away. That is actually where we're going to pick up. So, if you missed last time, you're going to get what happened last time through a slightly different perspective. So, let's begin. So, the caravan is making its way to Key East. This little bit, everybody is sort of, Zygo especially has gone through quite a bit of watch duty, so he's taking a little bit of a break with Zaza and such at the wheel. There's that familiar moment of extreme calm and quiet. Everything is tranquil. And there's just that little... And then a little blue fly, very iridescent, reflects a little bit of the light coming through the now kind of thick canopy above all of your heads. And then it lands on Zygo's outstretched finger, sort of waking up from a little bit of a dream. And then all of a sudden, in the absolute blink of an eye,
oh no.
Zygo, everything goes blue around you. Instead of the mayfly landing on your finger, you see the small iridescent tip of a massive swarming hive of vile-looking insects, swarming in a little tiny tornado all over the deck, like all over the cabin. And they've all focused on you. They swallow you up all the way up to your neck before you're even able to react. And suddenly there is just absolute darkness as they completely engulf you. I need you to make a anything you would do to escape a grapple check.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Can we get that bug trigger warning again?
10.
10. Not even close. You get swallowed up by all the flies, and you feel not chewing, but poking and prodding and pulling from within. You don't have control over where your limbs are moving. You feel yourself convulsing, but not from within, from outside, like you're being like manipulated exteriorly. And then you hear something just like repeating in your brain. Yes. No. Power is too old. Yes. Broken. No, not this one. And then you're out of it. And the flies are leaving you behind and swarming around the entire cavern. Like the caravan, excuse me. The cart. Anything you'd want to do. Swarming above you.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot I want to do. Fucking what? Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. Zygo's... Zygo's going to cast a thing. Just not sure what, bruh. Zygo's going to cast Armor of Agathis at 2nd level as he wreaths his body in ice.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Okay.
So you go through the motions to cast the spell. Nothing comes of it.
Nothing. Okay. Jesus. Do I have my telescope on me?
It is in the bottom of the caravan.
Can I go for it?
You can go for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and grab that.
Okay. Around you, everything is just blue. Nobody seems to be reacting to this monolith of flies around you. In fact, they seem to just be looking for you. As they're moving around the cart, you see one of them actually goes right up to where you were and puts a hand down on the seat, and their hand passes through your body.
Can I attempt to telepathically contact either Kano or Nesbit?
You can attempt, and as you reach out, nothing happens.
God damn it. Oh, this is so not good. Oh, but, I have fucking nothing. Zygo will try to... He'll reach for the blindfold of the spirits that he has tucked into his bag, and just throw it over his eyes to see if he can locate any, I guess, invisible creature that would be within 10 feet of him.
You wrap this around your body. You do have this object on you because it was on your person, right?
Constantly, yeah.
Yes, so it wraps around, and then from within this cloud of flies, you actually see not a full version of a figure, but like a humanoid bipedal, sort of very small floating image within this like flies cloud. And they just the silhouette becomes visible. Almost like you're seeing like a negative on a photograph. The flies kind of become white, surrounding around a dark black figure.
Oh. Leave them alone. Whatever you are doing, leave them alone. You do not want these people.
There is absolutely no acknowledgement of what you have said. But as you're speaking, you hear your voice sort of ring out with a little bit of an unearthly quality. And then you start to hear everybody around you start yelling for your name, Zygo, Zygo. But when they do, their voices sound like they're coming from the other side of a wall. Just like really muffled. You can only just barely understand your own name, but you can't really hear what's being said. And then this massive cloud of insects descends, completely engulfing Sven. But then almost as soon as all of them like get around him, the flies recoil violently and scatter off into the forest, like completely separated apart, and you see the mayfly spiral off into the woods. Something that you don't know at the moment is called the mayfly, but
Sure.
this little blue fly.
Thing.
And then almost immediately, a rope fires, exploding from the tree line, and covers the entirety of the carriage.
Am I still in this sort of blue world?
You are in this blue, like, bizarre-looking world. And everybody else, you, like, look down at your own hand, and you see that you're sort of like a light blue. Like, everything on your person sort of like the same color of light blue. There's still texture to your skin and everything like that, so there's, like, some darker lines in the light blue, but mostly you're comprised of, like, this light blue matter. And everything else and everybody else is, like, much darker blue, much more muted, except for Sven, who is also light blue and staring directly at you.
Sven, can you see me? Do you know what just happened?
There's some movement from the tree line, and busting onto the scene is the muffled-voiced Byron, who is immediately trying to explain away the fact that he has fired a net cannon on top of the crew. You see the party engage with him sort of cautiously at first, being very careful around him, very wary. And as you sort of weave in and out of everybody, waving your hand in front of their face to try to get their attention, there's no response whatsoever. You even stick your hand through Nesbit's forehead at one point. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sven, what is happening to us? However, you can communicate to me.
Sven is looking around. And he looks at his hands. And he's scared at first, but then he like waves his hand in the air. And there's like the air in front of him looks like it sort of smudges. Almost like there's a heat refraction where his hand is, but it stays there. And then after he doesn't touch it for a moment, it like, like it's like a TV screen, like straightening back out, returns to normal. And he's kind of freaked by that.
Sven, I have no... Wherever we are, I have no power in this place, but it seems that you can manipulate it somehow.
Sven looks down and starts to like go to the middle compartment in the caravan. He clambers up onto the thing, but as he does, when he gets up onto like the roof of the carriage, his back feet sort of pick up a little strangely, almost like he is kind of floating. A little bit less weight to him, and he vaults into the carriage very gently. He doesn't even react to this. It's very natural for him. And he looks in the bottom compartment, looks at all the paint, and he actually very gently traces a little bit of paint that's been dried on the bottom of like that big underground, when he was bounced around in the carriage, it went everywhere. Right. And you see a fingerprint appear in the paint as he drags his finger through it.
Sven, you are able to communicate between wherever we are and wherever they are.
Immediately, he takes the paint and starts to try to paint it on the side of the carriage. And he writes, "Help," on the side. Nobody turns around to look at it. He goes and gets more paint from the bottom, puts it on the side of the carriage. This time, Kano seems to walk right past it, looking at it as she goes back to the cart for something, and then turns away, not noticing it. But you do see that he has written help, so whatever he is writing appears to be in this realm, but not in the next, even though he is taking material
from there and bringing it
from here. Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna see if I can do that. Can I try to reach for the foretelescope and take it into this plane?
You can, and you are unable to. As soon as you clamber up into the cart and you try to go for the box, the bag that you go to touch doesn't open as you try to open it.
Gotcha.
Your hand just sort of passes through it as soon as you try to manipulate it, your hand passes through it. But if you're just trying to touch it, you can touch it. It's when you try to make a change on something that you fall through something. That's right.
Gotcha. Just to see if it was when I was surrounded by the flies or if it's in this world, Zygo's going to try and produce flame in his hand?
No, nothing happens.
Okay. Sven, did you see hear the swarm that was around you?
He points to all the flies.
Have you seen something like that before? Have you been here before? Do you know how we can get out?
And he points to the paint.
I see. It seems that nothing that I can do can affect our friends or the world that they are in. But it seems that you can. You have been here in your mind, you were saying, in your head before.
He tries to do like a series of miming. He makes a big square with his fingers, and he does like a little mussing with his hands as if he is painting something. And as he does the mussing, a painting appears in front of your face, just like an illusory image of a painting of Bovington, like perfectly done. Once again, he like draws his hand back, a little surprised that he's done this, and then puts his hand through it to sort of show you. And he points.
This happened to you in Bovington. Or this happened to you when you traveled. When you use the paints, do you come here? So we are somewhere in the middle. So we need to find an exit. I see. All right.
And then as you're resolving that, the carriage begins to move. And as it moves, you see that Byron has sort of become a part of the party, whatever the conversation was. He seems to have joined. You guys start to roll through the swampland. Instinctually, you think to follow it. Do you continue to follow with the party?
I'll check with Sven, but I would be inclined to move in that direction.
Sven is sort of like, without even thinking about it, moving with the party. He just doesn't want to leave any of these people. He can still see them, you know what I mean? So
I'm gonna stay close to him and I mean, I will pull my staff, knowing how relatively little I will be able to do with it in this world, but nonetheless, I'm gonna try to protect this kid.
Okay. So you walk after the carriage. It moves through. You sort of, again, we're hearing it, but for you, it's like a muffled, gravelly, very difficult to discern individual crunching noise. It all just kind of feels like a rumbling to you. So it is then that the party rolls up on a carriage that is completely idle. And all of them sort of get out and look around it cautiously. Except for you, Gabe, because the first thing you notice are two hippos, completely light blue, standing. One is on top of the top of the carriage, and the second is on the bottom, and they're looking at the party as they approach. They're both enormous, like absolutely yoked hippos. And one of them on the top is like, Hans, I don't know how we're going to move it if we can't touch it. And Franz takes a peek over at the carriage and says, oh, look, Hans, look, another group of people who cannot see us. What? Look at this. Look at the situation we have gotten ourselves in. I told you not to touch strange insects. Well, Hans, I didn't know that it was a strange insect. It just looked like a fly, but it was blue. And then, of course, they both look right to you. You and Sven are standing out in the middle of the field. Oh my goodness, it is another invisible boy. Hans hops down off of the cart. He is about 5 inches shorter than Franz, his larger brother. Hans rushes to you immediately and goes to hug you.
There's not much resistance Zygo is going to be able to put up against this thing.
We thought we were alone for sure. This is so good. Look, he is also here, which means there must be more people here, which means we can escape.
Okay, you are very strong.
Yes, I know. It is my job. My name is Hans. This is Franz. I am the one who is thrown, and I am the one who throws him.
You are circus people?
We do sort of like a thing where we go from town to town, and sometimes, yes, we partner with the occasional circus. Yes, the occasional circus is the fun part, because that is really where you really learn stuff, you know? Yes.
Well,
sorry, we're getting off track.
I am Zygo.
How did you come here? And who is this little boy?
This is Sven. He is a friend of mine. He seems to know this world a little bit better than we do.
Hello, Sven. You are looking very strong, yes? Sven looks up at the two and sort of laughs a little bit, like, and shyly kind of edges behind Zygo. Oh, it is no need to be afraid because I am very big. I am very gentle also. And he picks up a little flower off the ground, which he is unable to do, and he just kind of phases through it and goes, oh, too gentle, it would seem. Yes, that is part of our problem. How did you get here? Were you engulfed in flies like my brother, sister, and I?
Yes, we were both engulfed in flies. That is right. It seems as if Sven, do not be insulted if he does not speak to you. He does not speak to anyone. But he has been here before, it would seem.
Oh, that is okay. Our little sister does not speak to anyone either because she does not know how yet.
All right.
Oh, Franz.
She is here as well.
Yes, of course. Bring her out, Franz. Franz walks to the carriage and phases through the door. Oh, try to open it. No, okay. And just walks inside the carriage without opening the door. And then he exits the carriage and steps out onto the ground holding a very asleep tiny little hippo baby.
Is she all right?
He just holds her.
Is she eaten? Is she taken care of?
Oh yeah, she is totally fine. She has just been asleep and we are checking her breath with a spoon. So I have spoons on me, which we learned we could use if we had it on us.
That's fine. How long have you been here?
How long has it been, Franz? It is hard to tell. Several hours, I think. Perhaps almost half a day. Yeah, our beetles are getting pissed. You can see they're getting... Oh, look, and now your friends are taking our beetles. What? Who? Hans, Franz, you must stop them. They're taking Friedrich and another German name that I didn't think of. They're taking Friedrich and Helga. No, they're both female beetles. They're taking Helena and Helga. Well, there's not much we can do about it, Hans. They're just going to end. There's a go. They're taking our beetles.
I'm sure if they are doing it, it is for a good reason. These people are good people, and I'm sure they are trying to find their way now to help all of us out of here, so that they may return the beetles to you.
Yeah, okay. As long as they return the beetles, and like no harm, no foul, right?
Sure.
Okay. Well, that is all right. Oh, look, your friends. They might be in trouble. And you see 2 frog people sneaking up in the bushes on your party, both with glowing purple eyes. And these eyes are the only color that stand out separate from the blue that you're seeing. And just kind of circling their heads in little orbits, in perfect circles flying around, are these little flies. And then they rise up from the brush. You see Kano immediately turn around and try to talk to them, and they freeze in the brush as they've been caught. And then they launch from the bushes, and immediately one stabs the other in the back of the head because he trips forward when he throws the dagger, and they all pile on the last one and immediately tie him up, and the danger is past. Wow, your friends are very cool.
It is good that Kano at least tried diplomacy. That seems in character for
Yes, your friend talked to him and everything before he attacked. Any trust we might have withheld from you is now freely yours. Yeah.
Alright, this feels like a tenuous relationship at the best, but I am happy for the company. Do you see when the frog died? Did the fly keep circling its head, or did it like move on?
The flies flew off into the sky.
I fucking wish I had that telescope right at this moment.
Can you make a perception check for me, Gabe?
You bet I can. That is a 22.
Sven is holding a red apple.
Sven, how did you get that? it was inside of you. You just thought you were hungry, and then it appeared.
And then he traces his fingers to show what he did, and he makes another apple just appear in the air. He just outlines it.
You created it.
And the apple drops to the ground.
Jesus Christ. Oh, Sven, this is incredible. You are incredible. I am so glad that you are here.
He looks at you funny, like, what? Why you don't like me? Is the vibe you get off of him right away.
He's not wrong, but in this moment, you have an incredible power within this place. You can manipulate it in a way that none of us, pointing at the but none of us can do.
Immediately, one goes down to try to pick up the apple and does so, and takes a bite of it. Wow, it tastes like a real apple. So are you guys like magic?
Yes. Yes, we are.
Hans sort of backs up a little bit. Oh, okay. That is cool. And Franz puts a hand on his shoulder and says, I think that perhaps they don't. He pulls a hand to you. He like gives you a look, and sort of seems to decide like your guys are okay. And he's like, we have some bad experiences with magic users, unfortunately, and they have left us wary.
You are not alone in that. I promise you that we do not mean you any harm.
Roll a persuasion check for me.
6.
Okay. Hans seems a little bit more reserved now, but Franz is still sort of his like normal happy self. But Hans takes their little sister inside and just kind of goes off to the side and just like is keeping her asleep, rocking her. And Franz comes over and says, oh, look, your friends they are heading out. Should we follow them?
I feel it is probably our best shot to do so. Do you mind coming with us? It is possible they will be able to.
Oh, yes, sure. We no need to stay here. We cannot take anything with us. Hans, we are going to go with them, all right? Hans says, like, points at his little sister, shouldn't we stay so that she can finish her nap? And Franz says, if we do not get out of here, it will be a nap forever, so let's go.
Very dark, but true.
Sometimes it is the only thing that cuts through, since our general conversations tend towards the silly. So if you come in with something that really bites the tones the other way, it tends to, shock someone out of it and let's go. Let's get moving.
Yeah, say no more.
They walk on. All of you guys will follow along with the caravan moving outward. And then, sure enough, you guys end up at the edge of a swamp. And as you do, you start to notice that there are more light blue figures sort of in the trees around. And all of them, make a quick perception check for me. Botch. Okay. They're just like figures, light blue figures lining the swamp tree line. Several of them turn and see the caravan moving through the swamp and start to whisper to each other.
Oh, Sven, can you make me a torch?
Sven immediately will think for a second, and he'll just kind of wave his hand through the air and create like a big wooden staff. And then he just like shakes his hand around the top of it, and it fuzzes and forms, and a spectral blue fire wavers. No heat comes from it, just the fire.
That's fine. Zygo will take it in his tail and just raise it above himself, sort of as a homing, like a flare, basically a beacon to these other figures.
Okay. As soon as you do, they turn around. You see that they are all frogs or amphibians. dressed in the same garb as these other sort of dark blue figure, the same dark blue frog that attacked your party. But they are standing around and are very concerned, see you, and immediately whip around to face you.
Oh, look. Another. Come, lost one. This way.
I'll look to Sven.
Sven has nothing to say. He looks a little scared, but he just sort of grabs like the underside of your pant leg.
Okay. I'll put an arm around him and gesture to the hippos to move over.
Wow, that is... These are the people of the forest outside of Key East. I've never been here before. They have always said it is too dangerous.
Do you think that they pose some sort of a threat to us?
Franz, again, being like the careful older brother, says,
We will go slowly, of course, but if anything happens, I will throw you away, and then I will throw them away, okay? Haha, let us go, come.
He looks to you, Zygo, and says,
I know you cannot do anything, but if anything happens, maybe make the kid draw a big hole underneath all of them so they fall through, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
No, I
makes them all, or maybe he can just erase them.
Okay.
Okay, let's go. And you all sort of trudge forward, and immediately one of these frog folk walk forward. This is a frog woman. She is dressed in sort of regal but nature-born robes. Everything sort of looks like it's natural on her. Despite the fact that there is a little bit of weaving and thatching going on. So there's definitely some craftsmanship to the robes. And she wears like a headdress full of these little teeth that make up the crown. And she steps forward, helping. She's clearly of quite an advanced age. So she kind of uses this little cane to hobble down a little bit lower off of this raised area she is looking at. And she comes to you with a hand outstretched.
I'm not taking it yet. Who are you? What are you? How long have you been here?
My name is Yida. I am the chief of these wonderful folk of the forest.
All of the frogs sort of come around you guys in a circle. Not in a threatening circle, but in sort of like a weary circle. Make a quick insight check for me.
15.
15. They look tired and like they've been here for a while.
You have come here at a hard time. You, along with us, will witness our society's fall. Right here. Come, look.
And she takes you over the top crest of this little hill out into the swamp. And it's there that you see quite a lot. First of all, it looks like your party has started to move along onto the swamp, onto the wood. And then you start to see a bubbling in the water as all of them begin to chant. You see around every frog's head lined up on the side of the docks, there are flies and purple eyes everywhere, just whizzing around. And in that center platform, where the mage is standing in the center of the swamp, giving his speech that, again, you can only hear through muted tones, is that swirling, whirling bundle of flies, just keeping a tight ball around the mage in the center, who, as you look, is moving as flies prop his arms up and make motions for him. And at the top of it all, the mayfly is flying, like the head of a great beast. But once again, Zygo, when you peek through your blindfold, you see that black silhouette in the middle of swirling white fuzz.
These flies, these creatures, they have taken over your people. Do you have
It would seem so.
Do you have no means of stopping them?
We have no means. Oh, is my voice completely normal right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is
Check.
so normal.
All right, then we're just gonna go analog style. Yes, the same exact voice. It's fine. This is less complicated anyway. It would seem Hesmet has been bested. And she points over at the mage and the swirling thing above. We dare not approach, for everyone who does has disappeared from this realm and not reappeared anywhere else. You start to see this massive behemoth monster rising from the swamp. Immediately, your party springs into action and gets to moving. And the woman just sort of like kneels down next to you and says, "Your friends are about to meet the same fate as us. We shall mourn with you when they die."
I'm not going to let that happen.
Sven is looking at the scene in horror. And as he sees the flies rise up as Joey is sprinting along this upper side of the thing, you see the whole entire ball of flies begins to whir and spin more viciously as she comes into view of the mage. And immediately you hear a voice echo across the plain of this swamp.
Her. Yes. She will make a fitting host.
Sven, I need a weapon. I need something. We need to shave Joey a lot now.
And the flies explode forth, even though Joey only doesn't see the mayfly begin to rise above her, forming a perfect funnel as all of these flies begin to shoot down on top of her. So what do you say to Sven?
Oh, I need a weapon now. I need something. We need to save Joey.
He doesn't know what to craft when you say that, but he just thinks for a second and he just waves his hand in the air, and all of a sudden, as he does, kind of like as if he's drawing it with a broad sweep and it's being revealed, he just immediately makes this sword appear out of the air and just hands it to you. It's just one big long sword.
All right. It's a weapon. Zygo's gonna nod at him to come and take off running towards Joey.
Okay, Sven comes along with you. You guys storm off down the deck. You see Zaza has waded into heavy swamp water and is facing off with this massive behemoth that is scratching itself and spewing bile down on top of her as she raises her arm, avoiding javelins thrown by these madness-cursed frogs. You see Nesbit sliding along on ant roller skates, taking pot shots where he can, and you see this new friend, Byron Sharpscale, using his own blood and incantations as he fights off these frogs that are piling up on a dock. He is single-handedly holding back a charging squad of 9. And Kano, especially, who is also seems to be like running after Joey as she notices she's gotten too far from the pack. And then right away, you see all of the flies completely drop on her and engulf her. And you reach the cloud just as Joey disappears underneath all the flies. And they begin to whir like a tornado. I need you to make a constitution save as you come up on it.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. The flies begin to immediately... Oh, sorry, let's get some what they sound like up in here. Boom. The flies immediately begin to buff at you and push you back, but you force your way through closer and closer to the heart of this thing, and you get within striking distance of that black silhouette figure within.
Zygo's gonna lift the longsword and take a swipe.
Go ahead and make an attack.
I'm assuming this is a strength-based weapon, right?
It is a strength-based weapon, yes.
With which I have no proficiency?
No proficiency.
Okay. 13.
13. You immediately swing the sword down through the air and big whiff.
Yeah.
The little black silhouette, like when you assume you're looking through your blindfold, you can sort of see this thing floating through the air. It just like ducks below your blade swipe almost effortlessly, like it's floating in water and it has perfect control over wherever it wants to be. Just and then you see a hand outstretched from within this white fuzz of flies that you're seeing in your visage. That is going to be a 15 to hit you.
That will miss.
That will miss. You see just an explosion of flies like whips out from this figure trying to blast you back, but you sidestep and get out of the way. Sven, meanwhile, behind you, sort of looks at a loss and starts to paint with his hands instinctually and just makes a brick wall in front of himself.
Sure, good enough.
Right.
All I have is this sword. I gotta keep trying to attack this thing.
Okay, you want to keep going forward? Make another Constitution save for me.
12 con save.
12. This time, as the flies increase in intensity, you are blasted back 10 feet and knocked prone.
Okay.
Okay, you slam into the dock.
But
you may get up and try to charge in again, because you'll have like, what's your speed?
30, I believe. Yeah,
So
30.
15.
15 to get up, 10 to get back.
10 to get back. You can go back if you want.
All
Just
right,
gotta make that con save again.
Okay. Sure. Con save first.
Yep, go ahead.
Fucking botch again.
Botch. This time you are slammed 20 feet backwards, and the entire tornado begins to rise. Joey is no longer there. She seems to be up within the ball of flies that are swarming around. And furthermore, a gigantic pillar of flies shoots out of the right side of this thing and seems to come down at you like this sentient fly tentacle and slam downward at you. That is going to be a 29 to hit you.
Big hit.
That is going to be... Wow. 31 damage.
Jesus.
And that is force damage.
Okay.
Okay. Sven, meanwhile, stares at you from over the top, jumps over to try to get to you as he sees you slammed into the deck of the wood, and then the flies sort of back off after the hit and sort of circle back towards the big orb of swirling flies. Sven reaches down and starts to try to pull you over his brick wall. He's going to make a strength check. It is not going to be high enough. He only gets you back 5 feet, but doesn't get you over the wall, and immediately starts cowering back against the brick wall as you two are exposed on this deck. What is your turn?
And when they came for you, they touched you, and then they disappeared. Do you have some sort of power over this creature?
Sven full shrugs.
Do you trust me?
Sven, thanks for a second. I'm going to roll because that is a big question. He doesn't respond to you. Just sort of looks at you.
I am going to try to save Joey. You
Roll a
can choose
persuasion
to
check.
help me or not.
Persuasion check with advantage.
Not. 13.
He scowls and nods.
Then let's go. And Sven's gonna take Sven's hand and go running back at this thing.
Okay, Sven comes with you. Roll a Constitution save.
18.
That easily gets through the flies because as they approach, Sven sort of swings up onto your arm and gets on your back. And as you start to encounter more flies than you think you would, immediately they start to separate as they get near Sven, avoiding him, it seems. And you're suddenly getting much, much closer to the center of this thing. Go ahead and make another attack.
7. This is a bad weapon for me.
Once again, there is a just big whiff of the sword as it goes through the flies to absolutely no avail. Sven, however, waves something in the air and then just throws forward. And as he does that, he summons what looks like some sort of like a kind of magical seal right in the air, and by throwing it forward, there is just an absolute boom of wind and spectral energy that flies through the air towards this creature in the center of the orb. I'm going to make a dexterity save really quick for this thing. Okay, that is a failure. Oh, fuck. Great. And the figure takes 54 damage.
Holy shit, Sven.
Immediately you hear the recoil of this from within the orb.
Ethereum.
Ethereum? Do I recognize that? Do I know what Ethereum is?
Make an Arcana check.
19.
Ethereum is, you'd have to look it up because you're not sure, but you know it's related to something that is known in books, a rumored theory called the ethereal plane.
Okay. Okay.
It's some figure that is significant to the ethereal plane. That's all I can tell you.
Okay. And he's saying that at Sven?
He just heard the voice. You're not sure. There's no face to really put anything towards. It's difficult to glean anything.
All right. Whatever you just did worked. I think
Sven, you guys are like just
forcing it.
flies whipping around you guys. Sven is also shocked that worked, and he just sort of nods in place.
I think we have to keep pressing forward unless you can get us out of here.
The flies will fly forward before he has a chance to react to that. And as you do, can you make a dex save for me?
Yep. 15.
The flies wrap around your feet, slam you into the deck of this thing, and immediately pull you over the side. So immediately into the water goes Zygo, boom, with a splash. And then Sven is standing on the deck all by himself. Zygo, it is your turn.
I mean, I have nothing.
Sven is looking to you for what to do next. He needs an idea. He needs you to tell him what to manifest. He's looking over at you in the water, fear in his eyes. He is a child.
Can you give me my magic?
And he thinks for a second, and then he reaches down and just points to his eyes and points to your eyes and like asks to touch them.
Done. Fucking please.
Okay. You open your eyes as wide as you can. You feel two fox hands just on your eyes, just like right on. Yep. And then there's just suddenly this absolute reeling of energy as you feel magic pulse into your body at a rate you have not felt in a very long time. I need you to make a wisdom save, Gabe.
What's happening?
Christ. 23.
23. Okay. So, here we go. 1 second. So, everything, the sounds of everything completely leave you. You are suddenly floating through nothing in dark space. And then you look to your left and there's just a small pinprick of light. And you know it to be a star. And it gets larger. Oh, I can make that cooler. And the star shoots past you. And then another one. And then ahead of you, there is another larger astral form with some designs on it. Make a quick Arcana check for me.
24.
Jupiter.
Ziggy, you're close. You are so very close.
And you're back, and you feel all of your magic completely resurge into your body.
Oh, son of a bitch. Okay. Now we're talking. Okie dokie. Zygo's hand is gonna fucking alight and reach out as he casts a 3rd level guiding bolt.
Okay, guiding bolt, go ahead.
Give me a second. Sorry, marking the spells. That's an 18.
18. Boom, it impacts. You see the flies scatter all over the place. Roll damage.
Hell yeah, come on, baby. Oh, that was a lot of ones. I hate that. But also some 6s. 16 radiant damage. And it also means that if Sven is about to attack him, he will have advantage on the attack.
Which he is. He is again looking to you. What do I do? What do I do? You actually feel the magic, Zygo, ebbing out of your body, and it leaves you. You're not able to maintain it any longer. The magic dissipates. The guiding bolt, however, is still alighting the silhouette from within this swarm of flies.
Save out.
And immediately, Sven just thinks for a second, looks in the air, puts his hand out, and wipes it downward. And the flies are gone. And floating in the air, just right above all the flies, as all of a sudden Joey just kind of slams down to the earth onto the docks, completely limp and unconscious. There is somebody about 3 feet tall floating in front of you. And it's just a very small figure, sort of like in a wavy robes. And there's quite like an eminence of power, but there is like now a wariness to this creature of power as Sven, now very confident, kind of just walks forward with an angry look on his face. And the creature holds up its hands and says,
Please, Ethereum, I meant no disrespect to your... Well, what I meant to say is... I will grant you whatever you wish if you let me live, please.
And Sven, really shocked by this, turns around to you like...
I think it is more important for... Can he get all of these people out of here?
Sven turns back, waves his hand through the air in just sort of like a sideways, as if he's drawing something. And there's like just like a little major image that gets played out like it's a chessboard in front of both him and this little creature, showing all of the light blue people resuming a dark blue hue, and then color returning to it, and everybody reuniting. And the creature floating before you is shocked and sort of relaxes.
You would ask for so little? Only that I undo what I have done. This is unlike you, Ethereum. Long ago, you would have taken much from me. Made me pay for my transgressions. But I see you are still young. Ah, perhaps that is the reason for your mercy. Very well then, Ethereum. I grant you this. And I take my leave.
And this creature disappears. You feel just like a... And everything... Oops. And everything returns to color. Everybody on the dock, all the frogs freeze in place. The purple eyes, no longer a factor. You see, even like up close, they have large eyes. So you see the purple veins that you guys were seeing recede from the normal eye sockets, and they all go completely still. Even Hesmet, the mage, goes still. And looks horrified as he sees Joey lying there on the dock. All of you freeze. And then it becomes abundantly clear right away that the troll was not part of this and is still really pissed off. And all of the frogs immediately are like, oh my God, what are we doing? It's Paolo, the great smasher of windows and doors! He's back from his summon place! He's back from the sunken swamp! And all of them begin to sprint, disperse off into nothing, and the troll continues to recuperate damage. Everybody hop back in. Zygo, go ahead and make an initiative check for me to hop back into this turn order.
What just happened?
It's an 11 for my initiative.
Okay, 11, great. So in that case, it is your turn. All the frogs run like fuck, dive into the swamp. They are all gone.
Am I near Joey? Is that sort of where we came by?
Yes, you are right next to Joey. You and Sven are next to Joey.
Okay. Does it seem like she's breathing?
You can go check on her.
Yeah. Can I maybe at disadvantage just to try and make this a bonus action kind of a thing?
Go ahead, bonus action. Make a medicine check to gauge how she's doing.
That is a dirty 20 at disadvantage.
She is making death saves.
Oh shit!
What the fuck?
Okay, then
It's dire. It's dire.
holy shit. Okay. My healing spell is a bonus action. But can I just do it as an action? Like, can I healing word her as my action? Because
Yes,
I've already used my bonus
of course.
action.
You may. Yes, you may.
Then I will first level healing word Joey.
Okay.
She will regain 6 HP.
Okay, gotcha. She regains 6 HP. Zygo, she returns to 6 HP. But you notice that as soon as she wakes up and comes to, her eyes roll into the back of her head and she falls back unconscious once again. She appears stable, but her breathing is shallow, and whenever she's trying to talk, it's like whispery, and she feels like she's just like very weak and fatigued. But she like waves you on like she's lucid. She understands what's happening, but she can't be bothered right now.
All right, Sven, take care of her. And then Zygo will start running along this dock.
Great. Let me add Sven in really quick. Hold on.
30 gets me to about there, which is not much, but that's all I can do.
Okay, great.
And as soon as Zygo is within 30 feet of Kano now, he will throw out his brain and go, "We need to discuss quite a lot of what has been happening."
Sven. Oh. You see Sven behind Joey, like leans over her, kind of protectively as the moonbeam behind him rockets down on top of a now very confused and very burning from radiant energy Hesmet. He is going to make a save. What's the save, Hannah?
Unsafe.
Wait, Nesbit's in that? Wait.
No,
Oh, he did already go. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Next up is Byron, actually. Pardon me.
All right. Oh, scat. Byron, if I use my net gun, does that restrict movement?
Your net gun, not against a creature this large. It wouldn't.
Great. So Byron's just gonna shoot a crossbow bolt off at the troll.
Okay, go ahead.
A heavy crossbow bolt. That's gonna be a dirty 20 to hit.
Dirty 20 is a hit. Roll damage.
That's going to be 11 damage. Oh, also, I'm healing 3 points because of my regeneration. What do you call it? My regeneration formula is still active.
Okay.
And then I'm going to shoot another crossbow bolt at him. And I'm
Did you do the crossbow damage?
Oh, yes. The damage is 11. Excuse me.
11 damage. So the crossbow bolt fires back. Describe it, Marty.
What? Describe it? Like
Describe
he's dead?
it. He's dead.
Oh. Byron slams a stick down into his crossbow and loads it, and then looks up to just see the bolt like dead in the center of the troll monster's face, and it just goes rigid and like keels backward and like lands with a thud in the swamp.
There's a huge splash as it lands in the swampy water. Next up is Kano.
Okay.
We're still in initiative.
Yep.
Boy, do I
Okay.
have questions. Number one, so there's still a spellcaster.
There is still a spellcaster, but he appears to be screaming, which he wasn't before.
Okay, yeah. Because my understanding is he was being controlled by the flies.
That does appear to be the case, yes.
So he's like freaking out. So Kano noticing this, when all the frogs like changed and freaked out, is gonna drop the moonbeam.
Okay.
And she's just gonna continue booking it over to Joey and Sven and the spellcaster. And we'll say back to Zygo.
Mm-hmm.
What?
She
Right,
is okay.
okay.
They are both all right. They are safe. But
How's Joey? Is she fine? Are you okay? Is Sven?
go tend to her.
Okay. And then how far can
Next up is Nesbit.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't worry, I got him.
Right. Okay, so I'm just gonna... Do I see the corpse of this thing?
Yeah, it's lying just like floating kind of in the swamp.
Can I still shoot it?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
At you can if you walk over. Right now it's disadvantaged technically, but if you get over there,
I mean, I can't get all the way over there.
yeah, as long as you get like on the thing next to it, it's big enough that it'll just be a regular attack.
On what thing next to it? The,
On the like right here, or like on a dock adjacent to it.
Oh, I don't know if I can at all get that far in one turn.
Oh. Then
It's like,
it might be
there.
hard. It might actually, you might not have line of sight. It might be like below the dock here. So it'll have like big cover from you if you attack from that distance.
Oh, shit. Okay, really? When it's... Okay, well, let's see. Sorry, now that I know that I have to do that. So that this is 20, this is 15, that's 35, that's 50, that's 60. What if I get to, like, here?
It'll be much less of a, I'll give it partial cover. So it'll have +2 to its AC if you attack it from there. This body that you're gonna thunk.
Sure, I'm just gonna attack twice from where I am.
Great.
I'll move like my normal, but I'm not gonna burn a spell right now. So I'm just gonna
No
move,
worries, yeah.
like to here and attack twice at disadvantage with whatever bonuses. Okay, that's still a 23.
Hit. Roll damage.
Okay. So it's still... Hunter's marked. Okay, 8 damage. And can I Gathered Swarm
You may.
and just put them back into the burning building, possibly, or no? Or is it too
And
far
you
away
pull
from the burning...
body
or
into
in
the
the
burning
fire?
building. You pull the body into the burning building, and you see the troll just immediately lurch upward as it was regenerating, completely alive. And then immediately starts screaming as it gets completely engulfed in flame, and then starts to slough apart.
Way to go, Dale.
Sorry about the crackles. And then it goes still. You are now out of initiative order.
Ooh.
And immediately, as the silence grows, you guys start to see frog heads just pop out of the swamp.
Hans and Hans.
Are not behind you, but walk out of the tree line with lots more frogs. And as they do, there's sort of like a moment of, I would say it's a moment of shock, but also there's like something really nice about it. 1 second. Sorry, guys. Immediately, everybody starts to like realize what's going on as people start returning, and you start hearing people call out names in the distance as they start to recognize people they haven't seen in a long time. Several frogs are immediately just diving into the water as they realize that they've got color in their hands and that people can see them, and they all immediately rush to each other, begin hugging each other. A couple of people helping some of the unconscious frogs back up who are all like blinking, regaining some consciousness into their, and then you see Hans and Franz walk out holding their baby sister in their arms. Immediately they start jumping up and down and hugging each other as they realize that they've been saved. You see Franz look clear across the swamp at Zygo. Ha ha! From way far away. And then all of a sudden there's a moment where we see that Byron is sort of looking around the swamp, unable to find anything. Nobody comes along. And then all of a sudden, Byron, dejected, looking down into the swamp, hears a voice behind him. Hey, you old so-and-so.
Oh!
Orson, you son of a roach! And Byron grabs his husband's face and plants a good one on him.
They kiss on the dock as all the frog people reunite behind him. Eventually, everybody gathers up together. Everybody is laughing and touching each other just because they can't believe that they're real. All of the people immediately are hushed for a moment when... what did I say her name was again? Yida? Yida steps forward. I wrote it down and then I deleted it by accident. Steps forward and just sort of commands everyone's attention.
Everyone, today is truly a joyous day. These strange adventurers have freed us from the curse of madness and brought us back from the desolate blue realm. Nesbit, come, my friend. When we tell you not to play around the forbidden temples, we now implore that you listen to us next time, you giant salting idiot. Nesbit will be imprisoned for several weeks to punish his incredible stupidity. But for the rest of us, a feast, I think.
And then there is just a rip-roaring party that starts. Immediately, the fire starts getting, like, put up in the middle of the swamp on that big platform. It's a massive bonfire that suddenly gets constructed. You see these creatures of the swamp who you immediately were just like these, like they wanted to destroy civilization. You just see all of these, like, kind of like really nice decorations and ornaments come up. There's like some craftsmanship to the village that there definitely wasn't before. It seems like it had been discarded. Then you start to see these big, fat, juicy bug steaks start to come out as they get slapped on this big bonfire grated grill around. They all puff out into little boats with these big industrial like steaks over like 3 of their heads. Then they slap them down on the burning grate. The whole air, the muckiness of the swamp is replaced by cooking bug meat. And everybody is just sort of like milling around and eating for a little bit. You all come back around together. Joey is not really responding to much, although she does appear to be fine, and every time you try to like get her attention, she just sort of waves you off. The only response she gives you is like, that was a lot and I need to sleep. And she's sort of like, without hearing anything, seemingly she's got like a headache that she can't get past. She just clambers up into the carriage and covers her head. Sven looks concerned as he almost goes after her. And then like thinks a little better of it and hangs out to see like what's going on with the rest of everybody else because he's had a lot happen to him. And we just sort of like come on you guys like surrounded, eating little bits of the food, drinking some cleaned water. You actually see that Nesbit, who is looking kind of beat up and has now been relegated to like a helping some of the frog folk distribute food and such, is apologizing profusely to everybody because it is indeed his magic that was the thing that was able to encapsulate all of these people. And he is purifying water as he goes for people to drink around the like this congregational fire that is burning in the center of the swamp. Okay, everybody sort of can do whatever they want, resolve anything they want, talk to anybody around the fire. You guys, especially Byron and Orson, come up to you guys as like to thank all of you. Orson puts his hand around, arm around Byron's shoulder in like a sort of hug, and he goes, "Can't tell you, I'm not gonna let go of this guy for nothing. Not ever again."
No, not ever again, Orson.
No, not ever
that
again.
son of a bitch cost us 2 weeks together. You tried
And
the
you know
steak
what?
yet?
Too much damn time. Too much.
You gonna finish that?
Finish what? This? Nope, you can eat it.
Thanks, Hunt. And Byron is eating 2 steaks with his bare hands. Just he's double fisting bug steaks, one after the other.
And then
Dang.
Zaza. Zaza kind of, she's kind of been giving Byron shit this whole time. So she walks over to him and says, like, "Good job and thank you," and like kind of offers out her hand to like shake it.
Byron gingerly places both steaks into one hand and like wipes the steak juice off on his trousers and shakes her hand. "You're welcome. Hey, who's the weird red fella and the kid?"
Oh, Zygo, and that's Sven. Sven is with us. He's kind of like our child.
Yeah, he's a
Zygo
little
and-
boy. I was just gonna say, that's a little boy.
"It's nice to meet you, Stan." And Byron shakes Sven's hand.
Stanley, you seem like a good kid. Keep being a good kid.
And
Seems
Orson
like a
gets
good
down
kid,
and
right,
also
Orson?
like sort of like doesn't know how to interact with kids and just pats him on the head.
Yep. All right. That's good. All right. Well, this has all been lovely.
Seems like a good kid, right, Orson?
Does seem like. All right. I see what you're saying. All right. I'll think about it.
Oh, no, that was not what I was saying.
Well, you've been bringing it up for weeks, and I guess this is all really, in the grand scheme of our relationship, sort of like a big sign that maybe we should just do it.
Listen, let's talk about
No,
this
it's fine.
later
I'm
in
sold.
private.
We're doing it. We're adopting, and it's happening. I promise you this. It's happening.
And
hog.
he
Look what
stalks
y'all
off.
done and made me
says,
do.
We'll talk about this when you get home. Enjoy your friends. Sorry, I gotta go unload my traps. It's been several weeks, and I'm afraid the meat's gonna get funky and ruin the whole spot.
And he just starts
I
walking.
loaded them one time.
You didn't take him out the last 2 times.
And then he continues down the dock, and then just he stops for a second and he walks back kind of sullenly, and then he just hugs Byron and he goes, "I love you."
Oh,
I love you too.
And then he walks back on the dock and disappears off into the swamp.
Nesbit, who's
One day
been,
that son of a roach is gonna kill me.
Nesbit, who's been pretty paranoid, and you know how Nesbit gets after fights, and it's no different. He's just kind of silent. Does look up at Byron and just say, "So, is he more of the trapper and hunter than you?"
Well, he's more of the trapper. I'm still more of the hunter. I'm sort of all about the chase, and he's more of a sit and wait type of guy.
I get a good feeling about him, and as such I am now not as worried for your survival in the coming days.
Ah, thanks, Orson. You know, you're a weird-looking dog, but you're a swell guy. I'm sorry, not Orson.
Nesbit?
Nesbit. Orson's my husband.
What? Did you say something? Did you call me?
No, I'm mistakenly called Nesbit Orson. You know how we're the only 2 people we have
I
contact
have
with most of the
embarked on a
time?
time-sensitive chore, Byron. Don't be calling me. This.
Well,
I swear
get
to God,
yourself gone,
you're gonna
Orson.
kill me one day.
And he
Get
continues
outta
back off
here!
into the swamp. Great. He
God,
is
I love
once
him.
again gone. Meanwhile, Hans and Franz, come up on Zygo's either side.
Well, you really did save us. And I will be honest, my brother told me that we could trust you, and I did not believe him for even a second. I was ready to stab you. I was ready to choke you out with my big muscles, like if I needed to, I was going to do it right away. And holding my baby sister in the other hand, too. I was just going to, just get you. But I was wrong, and you've given me a lot to think about how I perceive people and, you know, the whole nature of power and all of that, and how it is not about the thing, but is more about the people who has the thing, you know? So thank you for that.
And he gives you a hug.
Oh, look! She's awake!
And the little baby looks up into your eyes. Make a quick charisma save for me.
You're within me, you get a plus
Nat
3.
20.
Nat 20. You are not charmed. This baby has snot bubbling out of its nose, and immediately upon looking at you, just goes like,
Zygo
spits up all over its whole self.
canonically hates kids.
All right down.
Nothing has changed.
And he,
Would you like to hold her? She likes you.
That is all right.
Oh, come on! Look at her.
really-
She's so excited she spit up on herself.
Kano really is the one who enjoys children.
Would you like to hold Miss Goose? If you would like, our baby sister likes to be held. And mostly I am just tired for holding her.
Oh, also, Kano, it's probably would have been over by now, but after all the fighting and stuff, Kano would have liked to, help out with the frogs that were injured in the fight.
Great, yeah.
And,
You are going from spot to spot, doing a little bit of lay on handsing, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Go ahead and make a couple of lay on hands checks, and go ahead and make a persuasion check for me. Go ahead and expel 5 points of lay on hands for me, and make a persuasion check.
All right, and trois, quatre, 5.
Under trois, quatre, 5.
My French is limited.
As is mine.
Persuasion, you said? 16.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Sorry. I'm talking, not you. She healed me. Sorry. Well, anyway, thank you. That's helpful. My leg feels like it's less broken.
You're still gonna want to be careful on that, though.
Right?
That's very shiny armor you've got.
Thank you. I need it so I can.
You know,
Yeah.
you shouldn't wear armor made out of that stuff. It's not. You shouldn't make it. It's bad for the environment to make big steel stuff like that. You know.
That's a valid point.
Just something to think about. You know.
No,
I mean,
that's
nobody
good.
thinks about this stuff, and
That's right. Do you guys have an alternative here that you use that's better?
no.
No. I think,
But, you know,
unfortunately, for my
it's
purpose.
about the rules. We've got the rules here. We don't bring any metal in and out of the camp. I mean, it's okay because you saved us all. So obviously, rules are waived for today. But you know, it's just bad. Just
I'll
bad
make
for
sure if I
everything.
ever come back, I'll leave it in the cart.
Hey, that'd be great. That's all we're saying.
Yeah.
That's all.
And
we're
then I
saying.
won't
And that's
be
all we're
as
saying.
effective as at saving you, but it's okay. It's good.
Right, it's okay. Oh, hey, sorry. What's your name?
Me? I'm Kano. And you?
You didn't happen to live in the Crest Cliffs at all, did you?
Her face kind of falls a little bit. Yeah, for a time.
This is silly. But there was a church to the mother there. And I knew somebody who went to the Crest Cliffs to join the congregation and never came back. And I was just maybe looking for some confirmation. Do you recognize the name, Yurta Blackskin? She's a snake.
I don't think that's one of the names. Do I
Go
know?
ahead, roll a quick history check for me.
I love that he's doing that.
Go ahead and see
Oh,
if you
it's
can roll
a
up.
filter. I thought you were just doing that.
No.
Oh,
No, it's a filter. Whoops.
12.
No, never heard of her.
You know, I don't think I ever crossed paths with her, but
Yurta. No?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Um,
I just like to ask. Never mind.
Make an insight check.
Botch.
Okay, never mind. He just looks downcast and doesn't say anything else to you, but appreciates the healing, and you move on.
Well, I was gonna tell him.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm assuming you heard, but last I went there, it was gone.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Still, you gotta hope, unless you know for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks.
Enjoy your steak.
He goes back to the rest of the party. Okay, so I feel like maybe we might be in desperate need of a rest. Is that right?
Yarg, but also probably a conversation.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys all sort of gather up once that the celebration is sort of pared down a bit. Yida has given you complete carte blanche to camp for the night. Do whatever you need to do. They will set you up with. They want to have like a little ceremony for all of you tomorrow to like thank you. But in the meantime, you guys all gather up around the fire. Get ready to settle in and have maybe a hard, maybe an easy, maybe a complicated, maybe a basic conversation. We'll find out, but we're going to find out after the break. Let's take a quick little 7 or 8 minute break. Everybody hang out. Don't go anywhere. Listen to some sea shanties while we're gone, and we're going to finish this bad boy off. All right. See you in a little bit, everybody.
Bye.
Okay, and we're back, baby. Hell yeah. Thanks
yeah.
for sticking through the break, everybody. Hello. Things have been crazy. We just finished a big old fight. Very scary, but we're okay. Everybody's okay, I think, right? Everybody's okay? Everybody's okay. Cool, great.
Physically, sure.
Physically, emotionally, we have some stuff to figure out, right?
Stuff to talk about.
Cool. Well, we're gonna definitely give you guys the opportunity to do that right now. So, let's just like hop back in. Let's set the scene. We are around the fireplace in the middle of the night here. Right now we've got Byron sort of sitting around the fire with y'all, with all of you, Sven, Kano. It would seem that Joey is still up in the cart when you try to coax her down to come sit by the fire with you. She's just got like this big headache and doesn't want to come down, and like we'll give you like a couple of word answers like I'm fine, but like won't we'll just be like not in the mood to talk or be social or celebrate. When she sees Sven for the first time, she gives him like a weak hug that she really means, but then she just like clambers back up into the into the carriage, and leaves all of you sitting around the fire with some things to discuss.
Kano is also fully on her, like, almost done with second, onto her third glass of wine at this point.
Yep. You guys see Kano just undo this big old jug of wine that she got from before when she left at Fort Fleet, and she starts doling into that.
Zygo will, first things first, mentally check with Nesbit and Kano. This odd. Do we trust him?
He's given us no reason not to. Not that that's a good reason to trust someone, but, you know.
Y'all are doing that thing again where you're all quiet for a really long time.
Sometimes silence is a virtue.
Nesbit just says yes.
Okay.
Like, Nesbit just out loud says yes.
Thank you for helping my friends today.
Well, Byron takes off his big witch's hat with a bunch of holes in it and sort of nervously fondles it. Listen, you're welcome, but Orson's a real pain in the tail. But I ain't really sure what I'd do without him. And y'all helped get him back to me, so scat. Listen, what I'm trying to say is, Byron Sharpscale hates being in debt. So, if there's something I can do for y'all, that would make us square, I'll do it in a heartbeat.
Where?
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, you are from east, where we are headed, yes?
Just right about near Key East is where I'm from.
I cannot imagine you would be able to vouch for any travelers into the city.
Well, vouch for or get you into the city? Because I don't know about vouch for, but I could help you get in there.
Well, if that is our only option.
Is Key East hard to get into?
Make a history check, Kano.
Wow. Okay. 6.
Yeah, I know.
Can I do a history check?
Yes, you may.
Because I was thinking the same thing. All right.
We were thinking things.
You could also ask me. I live
No.
right there. Right
Oh, yeah. Can I Zaza just looks at him directly and asks, yeah, is it usually hard to get in there?
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it's a bunch of rich tail spots love the smell of their own dung. But, yes, there's a wall around it. Is that right, George? I don't want to...
Wall around it and
represent.
well-patrolled harbors.
all around it in a heavy guard. But I happen to own a small craft that could squeeze us all on, and I could drop you off in a spot where I think you'd be able to slip through.
Small craft. Would we have to
Don't know
leave
why
behind-
you'd want it. Oh, sorry. Go
Would we have to leave behind our cart?
ahead. Would they?
Yes, but you would be happy to probably let them leave it at your place.
Oh, sure. Well, yeah, that wouldn't fit in the boat, but you could leave it at my place. Orson and I could look after it until you're done with whatever hog-forsaken business you got going on in that glorified country club.
Hmm. Do you think that we would have to have some kind of disguise when we go in?
You asking me, or was
Yeah,
that
you.
I probably do.
what, Dylan, George? What day is like Sunday in this world? Is it Sunday?
There's not really like days that are kept track of in this universe. There's no such thing as like a weekday. So like there's a calendar and days, but it's just like the first day of this. It's the second day of this. It's not weeks, it's months.
Is there like a good holiday? Soul Day?
There is there is like the day of the rising sun is Soul Day. So yes.
Great, cool. Well, I don't think you need a disguise or a costume per se, but I'd recommend wearing your Soul Day best for sure.
Like that's. Well, do you think you could help us get some new clothing?
Do I look like a tailor?
You certainly have style. And she like points to his witch's hat.
Well, I did sew all of this myself, and I wove the undershirt, but fashion was not my pursuit.
Can I do some kind of
Yes, you seem
persuasion?
remarkably like a tailor if you did all of that. You made all of the clothes that you are wearing? That is a tailor.
Examine my clothes more closely, son. This shit is crudely done.
I was more alluding to the fact that I will need a disguise. And in their heads, not Byron's, she will say, because my portrait was very well drawn, and I don't want to be recognized and then arrested.
So can Zaza turns back to Byron and tries to persuade him and is like, you don't think you have anything in your closet that might fit a Canadian goose by chance?
George, would I, a horned lizard, have anything in my closet that can fit? I mean, like,
Oh yeah.
I'm happy
Yeah, you could
to
alter something.
Yeah.
Byron takes a long pull on his cigar.
Kano will kind of like do this awkwardly.
I can try and zhush something up, yeah.
Zhush, that must be an Eastern term.
Zhush.
It's just to make something look a little more appropriate, yeah.
Zhu-
It's not gonna.
How do you
I
spell
can't
it?
promise it's gonna look pretty. I've never written the word down. It's a slang term.
Where is Sven at this point?
Sven is sitting on the log, really trying to keep track of adult conversation, but like quickly losing focus.
Nesbit is also quickly losing focus in the same way.
You see both Nesbit and just on the log, like ping-ponging from person to person until it kind of like outpaces them, and they just sort of both.
Yes, just sitting there. The last city, they looked at me a lot. I think it was a lot because of the colony, which is easier to hide now, but, are my clothes okay? And Nesbit just kind of looks around, and he's always just been in kind of worn leathers with just kind of scrap metal pieces kind of put on for, like, arm pads.
Well, that and son, you are like I said before, a strange-looking dog. But yeah, that getup's gonna attract quite a bit of attention in Key East. You ain't got like a fine suit, any nice silks or linens?
It is likely that we will have to purchase such things if we are going to.
So,
Well, let me see what I got back at the shack, and what I can modify for y'all. Why don't we head there now? And you know what? I can have Orson put stew on. I'm hungry again.
That sounds great. Let's do that. Yeah.
Oh,
can I? Does the cart need anything? Like any fixing?
Do you want to have spent an hour or two on the cart?
Well, he just said we should go now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna leave the cart with him, we should probably just take it up
Can
to
I
where he
insight
is anyway.
check Byron? Just because
Yeah,
I
totally.
don't know this guy as well.
You may insight check. Go ahead. Marty, roll either a persuasion or a deception check, and don't tell me which one you're rolling, and then tell me what you rolled. Go ahead,
I
Gabe.
won't tell you which one I'm rolling. Okay.
Yeah, because we both know which one you're rolling.
I did a 14.
14. Marty, what did you roll?
I rolled a botch.
Great. Byron seems like he's really excited to have stew with all of you. And he's just here to help.
Great.
It's funny, I'm not even that excited.
He's excited because the stew is coming. It has nothing to do with you. He likes the stew.
We'll be there as well.
It's his favorite
I
stew.
mean, they're nice enough.
It's stew night, and he's looking forward to it.
it's
But
Tuesday.
Most nights are stew nights.
As
here.
you're all like starting to get up from your seated positions around the fire, you hear a voice behind you.
Excuse me. Hello. Franz, hello. Nice to meet you all.
Everyone,
My brother
this is-
Hans and I have this act where we throw each other. And
And then he
Yes,
stops
yes.
short.
then, oh, you are the hyena who. Oh, what is your name? What is your name?
Zappa.
Chuckle.
That Checkle. Yeah.
Checkle. Yes. Hello.
Hi.
Franz. I am Franz.
So
You remember
nice to
me? My brother is Hans. He is like me but smaller, and I throw him.
Yes.
And
yes.
then both together when we throw things to each other. And then our baby sister, she throws things
Amazing.
with us.
Yes.
Well, actually, okay.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking, especially to you, little red man, your eyes. Your eyes are beautiful.
Oh, thank you. What is
Oh, I forgot entirely what I was going to say. With your eyes are so, oh yes, I am holding it. Haha.
And he holds up a pair of these little gold bracers.
As you know, we have the act where I throw things. I throw mainly my brother. My brother throws other things, and then also our baby sister throws things. But lately we have decided that perhaps having the baby throw things is less safe. We've had a couple of incidents in the audience that have made us banned in certain places. So we're going to eliminate that. So she will no longer need these to throw things. So we figure we would give them to you, our heroes. Is that okay?
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Nice.
If you put on this these things on your wrist, you become as strong as my brother Hans.
What?
Yeah. If you put them on, if you put these bracers on, you become Hans, as strong as Hans. We call them bracers of Hans strength. It is only for you if you are weak and small and wish to not be. Just for a moment. But it is for you to keep and be warned. They are very magical and will cause you trouble if anybody is able to find them on you and determines that they are magical. But otherwise, enjoy them and lift some rocks and stuff if you like. That is what we do when we are bored. We go out and find things to lift.
Zygo, can you take a closer look at these?
Sure, I would be happy to.
Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Just tee it up to Zygo.
What am I gonna do? Add my 0?
21.
Yeah.
21. Okay, bracers of Hans strength require attunement and will raise your strength score to 19.
That is
It's
what I will
hot.
present to the group.
Were these two guys here the whole time?
Oh, yes. Sorry, Mr. Horned Lizard. We were floating ghosts behind you.
Oh. Like Stan and Ziggy?
What?
Like those two guys and
Yes. Oh, yes. Like those two. Yes, we are the one. We saw each other in all of the blue space. Yes.
They were the cat.
You have told your friends, of course, about your time in the blue space. Yes.
Oh,
I have not
your
had
bugs.
a chance to because other things have been.
Oh, it was amazing. This little fox boy can do like way more than I bet you think he can. It is unbelievable.
We have your bugs.
Oh.
Your
Oh,
beetles.
yes. You have Helga and Helena. Oh, you know what? Keep them.
But your cat.
We are just going to get a new one.
What?
Well, we have done this whole thing where we just like painted everything full of the show. And well, the whole show is about to change, and we are about to, well, we're not going to need a cart anymore. We're going to settle on a property and sort of bring people in that way.
Byron, who hasn't really been listening to the exchange and doesn't know the dynamics of the group, goes, "Do these two guys need to fit in the boat?"
Oh, no, it will
No.
be fine.
No.
Oh, thank Cog! There was not room for two hippos in the boat.
Wow, okay. Just going to say that right to our face. Right to my face.
Are
Okay.
you sure you don't want one of your beetles? I mean, they can help you move to your new home and...
If you do not want them, I'm sure that it would be convenient for us to take, yes, but we do not mind. We have a great deal of money saved up from our very successful times on the road.
Can Zaza kind of like elbow Kano and be like, "Thank you, Hans and Franz, so much for your graciousness. This is amazing."
So you do want the Beatles?
Yes.
I'm confused now. No, because
Yes.
we will take them back if you
No,
want.
we want them, and we appreciate the gifts. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. Well, hey, if you ever wish to come, we are setting up just outside of Key East, and we are going to have our show, and we would just love to see you there. I think we will do half-price tickets for you if you like.
Yes.
Can Kano hold the baby sister?
Oh yes, of course, yeah. And she gets just laid into your arms. Make a charisma save, please.
My charisma save is so good. 18.
18. Yeah, it's a cute baby. It's a very cute little hippo baby. It looks up at you, smiles for a moment, goes to reach for you, and then spits up all over itself, and immediately just begins dripping onto your very pristine plate armor. But very cute. Cute baby.
All right. And she'll hold her out and kind of like shake the drips off. Yes, Coochie-coo. Coochie-coo. What's her name?
Did we come up with a name for the baby?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't remember it.
Jessica.
Oh, little Jess. Oh, she's very cute.
Yes.
It's so nice. How old is baby Jess?
Oh, just about 9 months old.
Oh, well, the next bit is sure to be fun. That's when they start running around and going too fast for them to... Yeah, you know. You'll get there.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Oh, yes. We know. We are very prepared.
Gentlemen, would it be possible for me to speak with you for just a moment?
Okay, yeah, sure. I will come with you.
Here, take your sister back.
Thank you. Yes, okay. Oh, shush, Jessica, be quiet.
As they leave, I just turn to Zaza and say, "It was very good that you silenced Kano. Sorry, Kano. Just the Beatles, Clip and Clop would they would not do well with their mates being taken away by this point."
Kano will nod with like full respect to that.
Byron
Completely
chimes in.
forgotten about that.
Yeah, I always thought the phrase "don't look a gift beetle in the mandibles" was a figure of speech. I never thought someone would actually do that.
And then
Nice. Solid.
Can Zaza be holding the braces?
The bracers, yeah, absolutely.
bracers,
They're like
yeah.
2 gold bangles that would like fit over your wrists if you wanted to.
And kind of shakes them and shows them to people, and she's like kind of proud that she has this insider info, like tricks of the trade. Don't always believe what you see.
Ah.
And And that's it. She just wanted to say that. Like she
That's great. Okay, really quick, we're gonna do Franz going off with Zygo.
Yeah, okay, so what did you want to talk to me about?
I believe it is in everybody's best interest if what happened to us and what we saw today stays between those of us who are there.
Why so?
That sort of power is dangerous if people know about it.
Is dangerous? I think it is
for-
an incredible story that almost nobody will believe, but will be fun to tell. Powerful people. Who is...
You know what your brother's reaction was to just hearing that I was magic at all. He was ready to kill me. If
Yeah, so
somebody knew
to stumble upon magic is, I suppose, as someone who uses magic, you are always surrounded by it. Yes, you are drawn to it. People who are also magical are drawn to you because you are both drawn to the same things, the seeking of knowledge and power. But most people do not see any magic for their whole lives, and so they have a lasting impression of it depending on what they have seen. We have seen great terror come from magic, but today we have seen great kindness and lovely reuniting families everywhere. It can clearly be a very good thing sometimes. But
I'm very glad that you hear it and you see it that way.
but
However,
some still do not, and some regard it with wonder and make up stories about it all the time. Really, you know it. It is something to talk about in a world that is hard to live in for people like us, moving from place to place, trying to perform for money. A story sometimes will mean food.
Franz, I appreciate your situation, I do. But I am not asking you.
Make an intimidation check.
18.
He looks at you hard for a second.
All right.
And he turns first, like he goes to walk away, and just before he like leaves, he goes,
Use the brace as well. Hope you enjoy them.
I do hope that we can see each other again and perhaps make other stories.
And then he walks off.
So I go right back to the group.
As he passes the campfire, he gives a wave to everybody, and then as Sven is like tracking him as he leaves, can everybody around the fire, meaning not Zygo, make a quick insight check? So even Byron, Zaza, the whole thing.
18.
Okay.
12.
15.
12.
You see Franz just give like a really like, he singles out Sven and just gives him like a friendly wave and then just mounts it with like a really sincere like hand to his chest. And then walks back off into the swamp. And Sven is sort of confused, but watches him leave. And then looks at Zygo coming back from the brush, who comes back to sit down around the fire. There's a little bit of confusion there because Zygo doesn't look too happy either. And that's it. You guys are back around the fireplace.
Then you have had a long day, perhaps. You should rest. Check in on Joey.
She's all right. She just needs time to, I think, settle. I think.
Yeah, I have something for you. Zygo's gonna reach into his bag that he keeps with him. Take out like the journal, one of the various books and whatnot that he keeps with. a pen, like a quill, some ink, rip out a couple of pages, and hand all of that to Sven.
He takes it.
I do not know if you know how to read and write, but if you would like to learn some more, I would be happy to teach you. Perhaps there are more than one way for you to communicate.
Make a persuasion check.
Dirty 20.
The corners of his mouth just like, but despite himself, pick up, and he nods.
Just in his head, I will say, you are very brave today.
And if Foxes could blush, he would. And he grabs the paper and pen and just like looks down. Can't like keep the smile off of his face.
Zygo will turn back to the rest of the group. It seems there is no direction from which danger does not choose to pursue us. There are worlds beyond our own.
Beyond our own?
We were taken, Sven and I, and all of the people who are here, transported to somewhere else, somewhere in between, where we could see this world but could not touch it. He sort of cocks his head to Sven, and then Zaza, in everyone but Byron's head.
Another pause goes by, Byron.
I was gonna say, would I know what he's talking about?
In regards to what?
Before he goes and talks, like the world's beyond what we know, like these other
dimensions. It sounds like a story of the Mayfly. About how they say that it lives in the folds between the world, like and it just like comes out when it's time to, like, you know, in the children's stories, swallow up the bad children or disappear all the people. In many of like old myths, it's like a sower of chaos.
All right.
So the completed sentence that Zygo says out loud is, no, you're fine, is that we were not able to interact with it in their heads, except for Sven, who has powers there that I could not understand.
In their heads. The only magical thing I've ever seen him do or attempt to do is with his painting.
Zaza put her paw around Sven just while they're talking.
Yep.
I'm back out loud now. I believe that the world that we were in, he has seen before. If I understand correctly, it is how he travels.
You know, if we want Orson to start making the stew, we should head back soonish. It takes 45 minutes minimum
Perhaps
to
it is
get
best
it going.
for us to start out onto the road, maybe have a little more privacy as we talk.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to chat, you know, I'm here.
That silence is what he gets in response.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zaza feels kind of bad for him and like whispers like, "I'm not telepathic either. Don't worry." And then she just like goes over, puts on her monarch hat and her gloves.
What the scamp did you just say to me?
She gets you. Look at her helmet. It's silly. Let's get going.
Byron knows fully what telepathy is, but does not pursue the matter any further.
Okay. You guys start to get the fire all put out, packed up. Before you guys leave, Yida comes over to you all with her staff, helping her down the mossy face as you guys are just like gearing up the wagon to go.
If ever you need a favor, remember that you may call on us.
Thank you, Yida.
Of course, we owe you all one. Be safe.
Kano will hold her hand out to Yida.
And she shakes it, clasps
Thank you.
hands. And then just like to you, Kano, she just whispers like under her breath as you take her hand.
Praise be the mother.
Kano, as she raises her head back up, gives her a wink.
And she just like clasps your hand like an old grandmother would,
Oh.
and then lets you go. And
Can I give
heads
her
back
like
up.
one of my feathers as like a, I don't know if that can be used in any way, shape, or form for anything, but she'll hand it to
she
her.
takes the feather from you and like looks at it for a moment, and then adds it to the back of her crown.
That warms Kano's heart a little bit.
And she still like
I'm gonna
slowly
use this to find
scrambles back up over the moss and back into the swamp, where little lights have started to crop up of all of these frog folk returning back to their homes and reuniting on like smaller scales, families and spouses and children. And the celebration continues, but in hushed whispers and in very quiet, silent togetherness. It's very tranquil.
And to that frog I was talking to before, I'll just like let her know if I ever hear anything.
About Yurta. Yes.
Yeah,
you'll
about Yurta.
Send her back. Okay.
Yeah.
She takes that and will keep that in mind as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then you guys start departing at Byron's direction through the swamp. And off you go.
As they continue, Zygo will sort of continue next to, I guess, Nesbit.
I'm gonna get a couple hit dice back for a short rest, just in case. Is
Sure,
that okay, George,
yes, you
for
would made.
Okay.
If you would like to take a short rest here, you may.
You said we just took a long rest, right?
Not yet. probably.
Not yet.
We were preparing to take a long rest when we actually sleep.
Got it. Cool.
Okay.
So as Zygo slides in next to Nesbit, there was a creature on the other side. Something that was controlling all of these people. It came from me, and I was able to shake it, but when it came from him, it recoiled like a hand on a stove. Then when we saw it go for Jerry, only he was able to find his way through. They spoke to each other with some sort of familiarity. It called him a name. Ethereum. I don't quite know what it means.
When you look back, Sven is trying to scribble letters on a little piece of paper that you've given him, even though he's sort of falling asleep while doing it.
I do not know if this is the first time that Sven has found himself in our world. I believe his soul, or some part of him, is much, much older than we anticipated.
And was that all in our heads?
It
Or
was
out
I think it
loud,
was
but-
just to you.
Out loud?
It was
Oh,
out
just to me?
loud, but just to you.
Just me?
pretty much.
Okay. I'll just... Nesbit, in the way that he does, decides which parts were important to him. Just... So... You went there, and you witnessed Sven do this, and you witnessed this other threat. It makes sense. You had to see this. We do not know why, or for what, but it is becoming very clear. Sven. And Nesbit kind of just looks back at him very quickly. Sven was our mission. Even if we had not left, even if we had gone forward without any problems, this was always going to be what was tasked for us, to transport this box. And Joey was always going to open it. There was nothing we could do to stop her. And we were always going to sense what was inside. All roads led. And this is why, as frustrating as it is to have him, he is a part of the colony. So is this man. And he just looks at Byron.
Byron sort of has been zoned out, but notices eyes on him. You say something about me, friend?
Oh, and I just out loud. Oh, I have words that I will exchange with you, as they are important, but not now. Please look away from me.
Byron's eyes narrow and tries to figure out if those were fighting words or not.
Just know that you have been given a great honor.
George, can I do a check if that's if that's like a challenge?
Go ahead and make a quick insight check, Byron.
Oh God. Oh good. 18.
Probably not. But he's weird.
Byron, who was sort of like bristling, like leans back in his seat at the car, like, all right.
It is why, I was not too worried when you were gone. Because you were with Sven, at least I assumed. And we always knew. We always knew he was powerful. The one thing that we have to make clear to the rest of everyone, and that I have just realized, and then this he just says out loud to everyone. These things aren't going to stop. I think, I keep hoping for a moment of tranquility, but it feels like we're going to keep having these things happen. And so I would just like to say that I'm happy and content finding the moments of happiness within these moments.
What the heck you talking about? You got the scoots? I've been there. These things ain't gonna stop. I know exactly what you mean.
You're sure he has spotted the colony?
Nesbit just kind of looks and goes, I'm trying to open up the requirements, as I may be a little too strict, and we may need a little more friends.
It's been tough, Nesbit, you're right. But in my experience, finding joy in the little moments makes the hard ones pass a bit quicker. And finding time to be still. Like the party tonight. It was nice. And she goes back to her glass.
Also, Zaza is a very capable fighter, and I feel like our group is much more capable with her there. Just being very clear about that. Zaza, thank you very much for everything that you've done.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, thank you.
You guys look over and see Sven is like fully passed out now, as you guys are all like talking to each other. Joey is also dead asleep, so she's sort of talking in her sleep, muttering a little bit. Nothing concerning, but like once in a while you hear like a couple of like meager little words come out of her mouth. And eventually you guys end up moving, like the trees start to reduce a little bit. And as you as they start to like give way to sand, everybody make a quick perception check for me.
16.
13.
Botch.
Okay.
8.
25.
Okay. Zaza is the first one to smell beautiful sea air enters your lungs.
Ooh, this reminds me of back home.
Yeah, go ahead. You just like immediately like see the shores of Masengu in front of you.
Yeah.
And as you approach, the sound of waves starts to build. Until you guys are just like on the beach. The cart rolls up and eventually stops on the sand. And you look out onto an immensely peaceful, with the crickets in the background, just like waves lapping up and down the shore. Maybe that moment of tranquility that Nesbit was talking about, like, sort of comes in this moment a little bit. And then right away, Orson is coming down the steps. All right, I got the stew going. Oh, they're all here.
You son of a roach, you
Well,
read my mind. I was going to ask you to make stew.
I know I made stew, but for me and you, oh, man, I gotta go empty 3 more traps. This is what I was talking about. You're telling me to... And Orson goes off into the swamp to go unload more traps to prepare more stew.
You got these folks to thank for saving your hide.
Well, I'm gonna thank them by making more stew. It just would have been nice to have been prepared so I could have enjoyed their entrance. And he disappears into the swamp. And all of you sort of like make your way. The shack that Orson and Byron live in is this little wooden hut on top of stilts on the beach to accommodate for a low tide and a high tide. It's very small. And the preferred method of cooking the stew and doling it out ends up being a little bonfire a little further away up the beach. You guys get a little quick meal in you as the sun is actually starting to rise. It's like 3 a.m. by the time you guys get out here. And as the stew is sort of poured, this little midnight snack, everybody who has some of the stew, Joey will like very delicately take a few spoonfuls of it. Upon your next long rest, you are also going to gain a benefit of a full tummy should you succeed this Constitution save.
Oh my.
This stew is delicious and has great positive effects, but only with the stomachs that are strong enough to handle it.
Everyone
Around
add a
Kano,
plus
right?
3.
Yeah.
Everybody
add a plus 3 around the around the fire. Here we go, baby.
Nat 20.
Kano, it's delightful. It's delicious. You start the next day with 5 temporary hit points and advantage on your first ability check. Okay.
I need to write that down.
What did you get, Dylan?
That was 17.
17, the same thing for you. 5 temporary hit points, advantage on your first ability check. Gabe?
7.
7. I'll get back to you. Natasha?
27.
27. You get 5 temporary hit points in the morning and advantage on your first ability check. And Gabe?
Yeah.
Zygo takes a big honkin' bite of this delicious stew. And then it just absolutely turns on you. You are in the bathroom, and by bathroom I mean the woods, for a good hour.
Oh, man. Yep.
Yeah, that'll be the hot moss. I like a little bit of spice in my stew, so Orson, he tends to put a good amount of hot moss in there. Sorry about your friend.
I like it spicy, otherwise I can't taste it.
Yeah, we both like it spicy.
You have any in a bottle?
Yeah, I got like 3 bottles. You want one? I'd be happy to give you some.
Awesome.
He gives you a little bottle of hot moss. It's this crushed red powder in a little glass vial with a golden stopper in it. And he goes, only a pinch, trust me, or else you're gonna end up like that fella in there.
Yeah, a little dab will do you there.
Just breathe. You gotta keep breathing.
Oh, this all, man.
I know it feels like forever, but it's gonna be over at some point.
Zigzag! Don't fight it!
Zigzag?
The more you fight it, the longer it lasts.
You have to lean in.
What is
You just have to surrender to it.
What is zagging?
All right.
Nesbit just kind of chuckles and says out loud, very earnestly, but just, he is the chosen one.
All right.
Yeah, well, this stew definitely chose him. You guys all look fine.
He just starts
Zygo.
laughing.
Zygo, you, upon your next long rest, will have disadvantage on your first
sorry,
5
Gabe.
saves. On your not saves.
Oh.
On your first 5 checks, you'll have disadvantage.
Shit. Okay.
And you may not use them on intelligence checks. They can only be physical.
Cool.
If you want to burn them for some garbage, like I'm going to charge you this stupid, crazy thing, you may do it. You just may incur consequences if you fail checks and stuff, you know.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Oh.
Great. In addition, until yeah, that's it. That's all we're doing for you. So, do you guys want to take that long rest now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kano, like while the others are getting ready for bed, is gonna kind of take a moment by herself on the shore.
Okay, got it. Do you take a little time for yourself on the shore?
Yeah.
And what does Nesbit do?
I think Nesbit, like, before he goes to bed, he wants to talk to Byron.
Okay, cool. So we'll go to
Orson
Nesbit
for
and
a
Byron.
second, like, kind of gather them both together before going to bed. Yep.
Great. So Nesbit and Orson and Byron. We have Kano on the beach. What are you doing, Gabe? Probably not much, but
Not a lot.
Zygo is recovering. We'll have a
Zygo's
moment with
recovering.
Zygo as he's recovering. And Zaza, what are you doing?
Zaza is staying with Sven and just trying to find like a comfy place to sleep.
Okay, we'll go back over to Zaza and Sven then. Okay, first up, let's go to Kano on the beach. Kano, you go off, stalking a little bit closer towards the water. You sit down, you see the moon is gone. The sky is just starting to light up with like the dim grays as like 4 a.m. rolls around. You see everybody who is going to sleep is going off to Byron and Orson have not an outdoor shed, but more like a lean-to that blocks the sun's rays, and they've got little curtains hung up to kind of give it a little bit more darkness. They're going to let you sleep in there because they have to prepare some things. But you find yourself on the beach alone.
Kano is just taking a moment because she has not been to a beach in a very long time. And it reminds her of other places where she lived. And so she's very sad. So she's just kind of finishing her drink, and tears are slowly going down her face.
Okay. Kano, you just sort of sit there alone. These memories start to wash over you of the Crest Cliffs and how the water used to spray against the rocks, and all of you and your entire church would finish a day of gathering for whatever missions would be carried out in the surrounding area and just watch the sea go by. For a moment, you feel like you hear their laughter around you, and then you turn to your left almost instinctually. You see nobody there. Make a religion check for me.
That's a botch.
Okay. There's a moment where you feel like the mother has totally abandoned you.
She's also thinking heavily about like the Crested Cliffs and Greywater Harbor. There's lots of like beaches are a
bad place for you to be. This is a low point in your belief with the mother. You don't understand what's going on. So much misfortune has befallen you. You've received no sign that she is there. You just have this moment of faithlessness, and just for like a second, you feel your power is just gone. And then it's back, and like, and it's just like as if like you almost fell off a cliff and then just like backed away from the edge. Maybe it wasn't even. Maybe it was entirely in your head, but it's something about your faith is like it's a bad night tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Kano
nods slowly and looks down and just kind of wordlessly finishes the wine she has left.
Back over in the hut, Nesbit and Orson and Byron are all gathered. Orson and Byron are sort of doing dishes together. As Orson dries them, Byron and Nesbit are talking over a couple of dirty plates, a pile of dirty plates, looking out the window onto the water breaking.
I have a question.
Well, shoot, son.
I know I knew instantly that it wasn't a real religion or... Do you know what it was that I killed in the swamp? Paolo. I should have asked...
about that. Oh, go ahead.
I should have asked the peoples, but I was in shock.
You're talking about that big fella that I killed in the swamp? And then you pumped a bunch of shots into his dead body?
No, I'm talking about the thing that I killed in the swamp by burning it in the fire.
Well, agree to disagree. But do I know anything about it?
I know something about it.
Oh!
But Orson knows about it.
Yeah. Well, a long time ago they said that, you just got these creatures that roam the land that sort of looked like people but had attributes that were different from ours, who were much larger than all of us. They used to call them giants. So probably something like one of them. But giants is like a broad term. You know, there's lots of different kinds of giants. You know.
Are they,
I mean, in stories, they're not real. But unless, you know, they do something like happened in that swamp, and then they're real, I guess.
are they bad things for the
Yeah,
world?
they can be. In stories, they kind of waffle. Oh, we should make waffles in the morning.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
And I don't need to unload no traps for that.
All right, thank you.
We got enough waffle mix left?
Yeah, no, I saved the batter from last time.
That's terrific. I'm gonna take the net out of my net gun and make it into another hammock.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, nice. I'll join you in a second.
Just before I sleep, I just want to be honest with you both. You have accepted us into our homes, and into your homes, and that has incurred a great danger upon you. And so I want to thank you both very much for that. And I want to let you know that because of this, there's a thing that is still ill-defined. A colony. It may mean nothing to you, but to me it means a great deal. You are a part of my colony now. What that means...
Oh, I see. Oh, this is really sweet. Do you see what he's doing, Byron?
Haven't the faintest clue, Orson.
He's telling us he thinks of us like we're his family.
Oh.
Isn't that nice? Oh,
Nesbit-
hey, you little dog, come over here. We're gonna group up and reward that with a big hug. Come on.
Nesbit
Come on.
looks... the hug happens because Nesbit's looking as if he's trying to figure out, is that what it means? Like,
Yeah, that's what he means. He means we are as good as family to him, and I just want to say you are always welcome here.
Byron shuffles
thank
into the
you.
hug but does not put his arms out.
Oh, come on, Byron. You can just open up and be affectionate. These are our friends. You can tell your friends you love them.
Don't want to stick him.
Just tell your friends you love them. And, hey, we're going to take care of you. We're going to make sure you get there all safe and sound. Don't you worry about nothing. Hey, after all, we know we don't you worry about no danger on us. We are academy trained. We know what we are doing.
You're academy trained?
Oh,
Yeah, well...
never mind. I mean...
Well, no, it's all right. I used magic in front of him, Orson. It's fine. I didn't exactly maintain my tenure at the academy as a professor, but
I don't think that's not what I'm. Yes, and
all right.
I'm talking about. Maybe you should mention the ACADEMY.
Sure. Never mind.
That genuinely loses Nesbit.
Yeah.
Nesbit's like,
All right. So maybe just.
all right. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, but just go get yourself some sleep, son. All right.
And he kicks you out the door. And then a quick moment with Byron and Orson.
I shouldn't have mentioned that.
I'm missing the intricacies of the academy. What's
They
the deal
just
here?
don't want anybody to know that they exist. You're not supposed to talk about it.
The academy is the
Yes.
Mordecai Saint.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Good God,
if I
Marty.
ruined
It's okay. It's all right. It's fine.
I don't know what is common knowledge and not.
All right.
Sorry
All right.
about that.
So yes,
Orson.
it's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, some traveling
mean
with those
to-
two kids.
What'd you say?
They're traveling with two kids.
Yes, Stan and who's the other one?
Stan and Johnny. Her name's Johnny. I don't know.
The coyote.
I think it's like Goni, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, she seemed like a kid. It's hard to tell when they.
Don't you think they should
scaly.
just take them up there and drop them off? It feels like they shouldn't be traveling. Maybe we mention it to them when they come back, huh?
I don't know. I think it ain't our business, but If you feel
Oh,
compelled
it
to
ain't
say
our
something,
business.
I'll stick
Okay,
by
so
you.
it's this argument again about not getting involved in things that ain't our business.
Look, I am just trying to pay off a debt because they helped get you back to me. And,
Just make a personal bond for once, Byron.
okay, fine. We can raise the issue of them kids.
Orson and Byron argue a little bit in the night, go back to sleep. We move over to Zygo really quick, who is crunched up in the fetal position, lying on the beach, wondering how the hell his luck has been this bad. Anything private thoughts to yourself, Zygo?
As awful as this week and the last several weeks have been for Zygo, there is even as his body fights against him, there is something there for him about looking up at a night sky full of stars as the sounds of the ocean lap up on the shore.
Absolutely, yeah. There is like a little bit of... It's like just like this classical feeling you remember being like on vacation with your family from Salzado on the beach. You remember your grandfather playing with all the kids. Remember you not running around with everybody so much, but right by your grandfather's side as a kid. And like learn as he like is opening up all of his old books on the beach. All your siblings are playing, and you're just like looking at the books that he's pointing at. Make a quick perception check for me.
This is not one of my disadvantage checks, right?
It is not.
Great. 28.
28. Okay, I also need you to make an Arcana check.
Lower. 11.
It's not something that makes a sound, Zygo. It's just as you're staring up at the night sky, all of a sudden it feels like the world rolls back. And you're just not surrounded. You still feel the ground and the beach and the air floating by you, but you are just seeing so far beyond the world right now. Your sight is completely disconnected from your body, it feels. And you notice that there's this pattern in front of you, right underneath you, or right above you rather, but it feels like you're losing your orientation here. Make an investigation check for me.
24.
Looks like a big butterfly. This stars are forming this constellation that form like a central body and two wings. Make one more perception check.
19.
And just silently floating through this darkness. It's very bizarre because you're also hearing the crashing of waves behind you. You smell sea air. And there's just a rock floating in blackness towards you. And then another rock behind it. Tumbling forward through space, illuminated by moonlight. Closer and closer. About to fall through the left wing of this butterfly. And when you turn below, you see the great blue marble of the earth below you. And you just have an eye on these two tumbling rocks.
Am I me? Am I physically?
You're
do I
you.
feel
Yeah,
myself
you.
on
If
the-
you move your hand, you'll feel sand. You still feel your stomach turning, though now it's turning for more reason than one.
Right. I've looked at this sky before and been able to sort of magnify in on an image the way my eyes work. Is that sort of what's happening?
That's what's happening right now. Mm-hmm.
All right.
You notice that when you're looking through this butterfly and you see the rocks tumbling towards you, you are perceiving that they're coming towards you, but the distance they're making is so slow. It's they're moving so slowly from your perspective. In reality, they're probably hurtling through space, but the scale of the journey they have in front of them strikes you as quite long, hard to gauge. But this hasn't happened in this week.
Gotcha. Something to see on the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
Zygo remembers to just makes a note to himself to keep tracks of that in journals and charts and all that. Tonight it's too hard for him to think straight, but moving forward.
And back over with Zaza and a barely sleeping Sven. Sven has crammed a little bit of the stew down and is sort of bleary-eyed and tired, and is just sort of holding Zaza's belt as she leads him back towards the carriage, like doing that sleepwalking thing kids do. And
Hi, buddy. You've had a long day. No, you didn't have a long. You're good.
And he goes to walk back towards the fire, not tired, defiant.
Yay. Yeah, Zaza just picks him up.
No resistance. Boom.
Yeah. Puts him to sleep. Is there anyone? Can she see that Kano is on the beach?
Yeah. Kano is out on the beach alone.
Oh. Yeah, okay. She makes sure that Sven goes to sleep.
Sven is asleep when you picked him up.
Great, okay. And then she decides to go over to Kano.
Okay, yeah, you walk through the sand. Kano, make a quick deception check, Kano. Oh, you're muted.
Oh, you're muted too.
5.
Okay. Kano has been crying. You hear her, like, kind of inhale, like, sniffle as you get to the beach when you come up to her.
Zaza just hears her crying, sits down quietly next to her, doesn't really say anything, kind of just holds space, and then, yeah, asks her, "You want to talk about it?"
Kano gives a very kind of slow wave back and forth, but will say, "I don't like beaches anymore."
Zaza picks up some sand into her hand and kind of lets it go in between her fingers and says, "Well, that's a shame because the beach is so fun." Like trying to cheer her up.
It doesn't work.
Oh.
But no. Kano will give kind of a... She's not meaning it to come off as a pitying smile, because she knows what Zaza's trying to do. I guess you could say that, but not when they all feel like they're haunted. And you can realize, like, her cup has been, like, knocked over, and she is just kind of, like swaying a little back and forth. Sven's okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He didn't want to go to sleep, but he's down now.
Yeah.
I used to live on the beach.
You did? Which one?
I lived on East Portneck in Masangu. And And even though I love the beach, no one really loved me there. If that makes you feel any better.
Huh? It's safe.
Yeah, it's sad.
Why do you want to go back so badly then?
Because it's my home. Can she do some kind of perception check to see, I don't know, about this drunkenness?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Insight check. Okay. I got 11.
She seems pretty drunk. She's had a couple. Like, you see the wine glass is empty. Yeah, hard to read. She seems like she is stuffing down a lot of very big feelings.
Okay. I think she's gonna. Yeah, she offers out her hand and is like, "You want to go to sleep now?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she'll look up at Zaza. I'm very tired.
Yeah. We all are.
And she'll let Zaza help her up. And you'd be able to, you're strong, so.
Yeah. It's like very easy. And she also remembers to pick up the glass and kind of, escorts her back to the shack.
Long rest, everyone. Finally, a night's sleep. For the love of God. Alternating watches are taking place, but for the most part, Orson actually steps up and tells y'all to just go to sleep and that he'll keep an eye on everything and makes some allusions to the fact that there might be some more magical things keeping any unwanted visitors or anything at bay, but keeps that kind of veiled. And then the next morning comes. Sun rises. You're all sleeping through that morning sun. Wait until around 11 a.m. Everybody starts to gather around. Byron is in the low surf with a little rowboat that seems just big enough to fit everybody. Really quick, before we all embark upon this boat and Orson and Byron keep your wagon safe, etc., what would we like to take from the wagon? Make sure you take it, or remember to take it.
I'm taking the telescope for sure.
Got it. Telescope is with you.
Do I have the hat and the gloves?
You can take them with you. They are okay. Great. You have those on your person.
Just in case.
Are health potions like illegal, or are they okay?
Health potions that are overtly magical are illegal.
Okay. Not saying we should take some.
Or they're like they're only to be dispensed by clerics of soul.
Oh, should I not take the hat then? Is that magical?
It's not magical. It's just a thing that it's a non-magical item that gives you bonuses. Both things.
Okay.
Telescope is, but I really don't want to leave it.
So you can. I feel like you have so much magic stuff on you, don't you? You are magic.
I
That's
have
okay.
the glove. I have the telescope. If I'm searched, I'm fucked. I mean, that's just
right.
Is anybody taking the bracers of Han's strength?
Natasha, what's your strength?
My strength is 17.
17. Okay, mine's 18. So why don't you go
give
ahead
her a plus
and
one
take
bump?
them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is
so
there anything I can suggest they take that like?
Well, I need a new outfit, right? Am
You
I
guys
getting
might
like a
need
disguise?
Has Byron been sewing through the night?
Byron, why don't you go ahead and make a sleight of hand check for the patchwork?
Yeah, because I think one of the first things we're gonna have to do is actually get actual clothes once we get in there. But this is just like for our first jaunt.
Yeah.
Dirty 20.
Ooh.
Dirty 20. They're not bad. They're passable as like from as long as you're not up close, it looks like regular plain clothing.
All right.
But if you get up close and inspect it, it shakes like leaves because there's leaves.
Long as no one looks too close at these, you should pass as relatively well-to-do.
You guys all load up into the boat.
How long will this journey take us?
Like an hour.
Perfect. Just in case, though, I'm sure it won't be an issue. Zygo is going to walk out into the water. Sort of like take some in his hand, come back to the group, and just go from person to person. Touching this will take about 10 minutes. But I'll say, I have not been on the sea for quite a long time. I feel I did not have the abilities that I had the last time I was here, but to give us safe passage, just to be safe, this is probably for the best. And we'll ritual cast Water Walk on everybody.
Okay, got it. So all of you guys start to see these little, like the sand crystallizes around your feet and freezes there in these like skates that like as soon as you step on sand, there's just like sand stuck to the bottom of your shoes or boots. And then when you step on the water, you step on top of it. And all of a sudden, you guys are just walking onto the boat.
Speaking of just to be safe, Byron rushes back inside the hut and comes back out with like a large empty barrel and hands it to like an empty bucket, hands it to Zygo and says, if you're gonna do any more technicolor yawning, that's for you.
All right.
That's great.
I don't want you puking in my boat.
Understood.
And off the boat takes through the ocean surf. You guys immediately begin to jostle back and forth as everybody loads in. Joey still looks like so tired. Her head's in her hands. She's not looking over the boat. Maybe she's seasick. Sven seems concerned and keeps like poking at her, and she is kind of snapping at Sven, like just to like leave him alone, to the point where he's like, all right, fine, and like doesn't even pay her any more attention. Instead, kind of like hangs up towards the front of the boat to see what's going on. Byron guides you through a very rocky period of what am I trying to say? A rocky water is crashing with a rocky stretch of like these spires of stone that are poking through the water would make any big ship's passage completely impossible. But you guys are floating between them, occasionally bashing into the sides. Byron, go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
16.
Okay. At one point, there is a guard that just like is posted on a cliff face, seemingly alone. And you immediately push with an oar, pushing the boat like just underneath this cliff face, and you never hear any alarm get raised. When you look back and up, the guard seems undisturbed, maybe asleep, but you just move right on past. And then eventually there's this small inlet cove that the boat rocks and pulls up onto. All of you disembark very slowly off. Byron dares not speak too loudly, but you guys all say your goodbyes in hushed whispers.
Well, it's been real good getting to know all of you, and I know Orson's quite taken with the whole group. Really, he's really grateful for being rescued, and I want y'all to know that I'm grateful as well. So stay safe. And when you need all your stuff, just come a-knocking.
And Byron takes off back through the boat, disappearing around the corner, leaving you guys a little cave entrance in front of you with low-hanging vines that sort of obscure it from view. But Byron points ahead as if that's where you're supposed to walk forward to. And that is where we're going to end tonight. Thank you all so much for hanging out. It has been a fun one.
Oh my God.
Hell yeah, everybody. Make sure that you come back next Tuesday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. to find out what happens on our little journey into Key East. What a crazy little sesh, guys.
East.
Wow.
All of you guys in the chat, thank you so much. It's so amazing to see you guys all
Yes.
chatting and popping off. It like gives us so much inspiration to keep doing this as much as possible. Marty, what's up?
Am I gonna miss a fashion montage next episode?
You might,
Fashion show
unfortunately.
at lunch.
We are
Guys,
gonna pretty
let's-
woman all over this.
Let's give it
Holding
a
bags. You work on commission?
wait till I introduce you guys the new condition we homebrewed called the fancy condition.
Oh, what?
What?
There's a new
Fucking
condition
What?
that would be along blinded or deafened or poisoned called fancy. And we'll talk about it.
Oh, Zygo
well-
wants to be this condition all the time.
I bet you do, Zygo. but
We know
also-
you do, you little.
Little
we'll
fancy boy.
discuss the details of that at the beginning of next session, or well, after we get through whatever this cave is. But everybody, what a fun session. Thank you all for tuning in. Tomorrow, if you want to come hang out with me for an hour and talk about this session and do a little talking about the fancy condition, players, don't you dare come and watch this shit. We'll talk a little bit more about what that's going to entail, so you got guys kind of understand what's going on as our players get introduced to it. Let's all really quick do a remote round of applause and throw some honks in the chat for Marty Abby Schneider, guys. Come on.
Come on.
Thank
Come
you.
on.
Thank you for guesting, bud. Hopefully, we will
Thanks.
see
I
more of
had-
Byron Sharpscale.
I had such a blast. I'll come back anytime.
Hell yeah.
Yay.
Hell
We'll get
yes.
Byron. We'll see Byron again for sure.
You really are incomparable.
The incomparable Marty Schneider.
Oh,
Marty, where
yeah,
can people
sure.
find
Thank
stuff
you.
of yours? You're an artist. You're an amazing artist. People want commissions of your work. Where should they go?
Thank you. So if you want commissions, you can order them directly through my website, martinsmenagerie.com. That's Martin, like what my name is short for, MARTINS, menagerie. You can look up how to spell menagerie, but it's spelled correctly.
There you go. We have
and
Marty
you
do
can
art
order
for
a full
Hero Club
bottle.
all the time. Also, if you look at his gallery, but also at Hero Club Podcast has tons of Marty's art that he has done. That's all
Yeah, and my
incredible. you should check
Instagram,
that
I'm
out.
tagged in all the Hero Club posts as well.
And your Instagram is right there on the thing. Go follow Marty and check his stuff out. Hell yeah, guys. Anybody else got anything coming up they want to plug? That's it. Silence. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Keep an eye out for City of Mirrors, the new Hero Club
baby.
season
Oh,
coming
that's
out on April 6th. We're
Soon.
very excited.
Yep.
It's gonna be sick. So please,
So many mirrors.
listen to Hero Club. Tell your friends about Hero Club. Bring people to this awesome show. We had like a ton of people tonight, so it was so fun
Oh,
to
yeah.
see everybody
Yeah.
in. Everybody have a wonderful night. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Woo.